Live 5 News starts now with your campaign 2020 coverage.
Right now, live on Live 5 News at 6, we're awaiting the arrival of President Trump in the Lowcountry.
The president is holding a campaign rally tonight at the North Charleston Coliseum, and it's set to begin in just about an hour now, we believe. A look at Joint Base Charleston right there in the foreground, where Air Force One expected to land soon. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham is aboard right now with the president.
Now we've got crews all over the Lowcountry, from Coliseum inside, outside, to there at Joint Base Charleston. Rob Way is joining us now to give us an update. Rob, it's a lot of waiting right now, but it will sure be exciting when the president lands.
Carter, Ruff, I've been looking at every plane that keeps flying in, and obviously it's an airport, so we're going to see other planes. But of course, we are waiting for the arrival of President Trump on Air Force One. And we are not the only ones waiting. You're going to see some military personnel over here already up to the barricades. And of course, security is a top-notch issue right now here at the base. So we're just going to tilt the camera down. This is for security purposes, not to really show you the runway. But we are going to take you over here to what appears to be the motorcade. So you can see a lot of police and security ready for the president. He was tweeting just 40 minutes ago that he was on his way to South Carolina, and of course we are waiting here for him, and we are going to bring you that live when he lands. So again, we're going to tilt the camera back down here, but we are going to stay updated, and we are the only television station here in the Lowcountry who's going to be able to get very close and get you a live look at President Trump up close and personal as he comes off Air Force One. So we are very excited to bring you that, and of course he was set to land around 6 o'clock, so we are waiting patiently for him. We're going to bring you all the latest from here, though. We'll be back very soon, I'm sure. Live at Joint Base.
Thanks, Rob Way, reporting from Joint Base Charleston. They're waiting for President Trump to get there so he can head to the Coliseum.
And we've got a team of reporters out here on this story. Paula Tristan-Aruda is at the Coliseum on the outside of things right now. It was packed full of people, but Paula, what's the scene like there right now?
Rob, for the most part, that huge crowd of people, they've already made their way inside of the Coliseum. We do have a couple of people that are choosing to watch it from the outside. Not sure if they can get in at this point, but they're choosing to watch it on the jumbo screen. Now, we haven't seen too many protesters around here, but if you take a look right across the street, we do see a couple of people. They've been out here holding signs, protesting against President Donald Trump, but we are still seeing a huge crowd. If you look at all of the cars that have lined up and down the street to watch President Donald Trump speak. Now again, he's set to speak in about an hour or so, so we're still waiting for that. But a huge crowd of people, again, most of them have made their way inside, but you can still see the sellers out here that are going strong. Some people have been in and out, kind of buying some gear, some hats, some flags, as well as some t-shirts. So we're going to be speaking to the people coming up in the next few minutes, the people that are choosing to watch it from the outside, and we'll have more on what they say coming up. Live outside of
All right, Paula Tristan-Aruda there outside of the Coliseum. We're still waiting to get inside and show you scenes from in there in just a few moments.
And I know that even a few hours ago, the traffic in that area was really busy. The logistics of having the President of the United States in town, getting him safely around, making sure that our regular motorists are safe, whether or not they're going to this event. So we're going to talk to Bill Walsh. Tell us a little bit about the traffic right now. Even though there's not a whole lot of people outside, what are the roads looking like?
Well, there's a lot of closures right now for sure, Carter. As a matter of fact, as we kind of look at right here, this is as you look toward the eastbound side. Now they've just, you can see right there, that is the police shutting off the international side on that way, as well as the westbound side. Again, this is now shut off, and the traffic's very, very slow going on the westbound side. Again, because the president's motorcade is going to probably not come down 526, probably is going to come down Aviation right by Boeing, then over toward, say, International. In fact, let me go ahead and kind of show you another shot right there. This was just a little while ago, and you can see a few cars left over there, but they were trying to shut off a couple of these roads. I'll zoom on in. Look at this. This is the merge lane right now, but this is where we're seeing the heavier traffic. And again, this is where Boeing is. This is 526. As I zoom on in, here's the Coliseum. So pretty much everything's going to be locked down in this whole whole area. There's a TFR, which is a temporary flight restriction overhead. There is, whenever the president's on the ground, this whole area is going to be pretty much locked down. So Montague, International, all will be shut off right now. Again, even back over toward the airport. Here's the airport right here. And again, if you're coming anywhere near there, you might want to avoid that area. If you do have a flight to take, this is probably the best way to get there, is to come down between, say, Michoud Parkway and Dorchester, that way to get in to the main airport. But once again, you can see it is definitely going to be a problem getting around that area during the next few hours, as long as the president is certainly on the ground there. And again, as I bring up that live picture, there it is. It's closed off both sides because the president's motorcade is going to pretty much go under 526 on its way over to the Coliseum. I was looking on our Skycam to see if we could spot Air Force One on the approach to runway 33. I don't see it right now on our Max 1, but again, something we'll keep an eye on as well. So just be on the lookout there. The traffic's just going to be pretty much slow going all throughout that area. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much. And of course, on my way in, I saw the North Charleston Police Department at each of those exits, and you know they were waiting to block it off when they needed to and stop traffic and direct it around, because they're very particular about who's on the roads when the presidential motorcade is on the road. So Bill, thank you very much for that explanation.
I mean, these sort of events take so long to plan, but if you think about it, Ralph, I mean, he might have known he was coming, but we really just heard about it last week.
Right. So
you think the city, the police, the sheriff's office, the state, everybody has had to hop in and really execute very quickly to make sure that the traffic, the roads, the safety, the security, the Coliseum, everybody was ready for this event.
And of course, you can't miss the strategy behind him planning to come
not a
to
coincidence.
Charleston on the same day or before the Democratic primary on tomorrow. So on tomorrow, Democrats will vote in that open primary here for their choice. And on today, though, the president taking this opportunity to talk to his supporters, and there are a lot of them inside of the Coliseum. Harv Jacobs is out there tonight, and he's had an opportunity to speak with many of them who were in line for quite some time. Maybe some are still trying to get in, Harv.
Yeah, Ralph, they are still trying to get in. In fact, if you take a look behind me, you still have lines over here. They're a lot shorter than they were earlier this afternoon. This has been a very orderly process all afternoon. They have about a dozen metal detectors up here with signs hanging on top telling folks what they cannot bring in. They're making people take their jackets off. They're also telling them to empty their pockets, and they're searching through folks before they go through the metal detector and after they go through the metal detector. Of course, if it goes off green, they probably say you're okay. If it's red, they check. We have the Secret Service here. We also have the North Charleston Police, Charleston County Sheriff's Office, TSA, and they're really doing a great job getting people through here. Let's go around this way for a second. You see those barricades over there. What they're doing, they're having all these folks line up behind those barricades, and then they come down here, and I don't know why the line stopped. For some reason, the line has stopped over here all afternoon. They were moving quite through, and then ultimately they'll let them through these barricades, up the steps over here, and then they will go to the line over here and then go through the metal detectors. I spoke to a lot of folks today who are really excited about seeing the president, and there's one lady I spoke to in particular. She had the whole outfit from head to toe, and here's what she had to say.
I think because he's a working man's president. He says it like it is, and that's the way America likes it.
She's a member of Women for Trump, and she said she's very excited. She's going to yell, "Go Trump," with about 13,000 other people sitting inside that Coliseum tonight. Again, the president is scheduled to speak around 7 o'clock. Live at the North Charleston Coliseum, Harv Jacobs. We'll send it back to you.
Harv, thank you very much. And again, we want to add that this is a ticketed event, but the tickets are free.
And there were a lot of spots, 13,000 plus in the Coliseum.
Sure.
So.
Not everybody's going to get in. Some will have to watch outside, but you saw they did have the Jumbotrons out there, so there is some sense of overflow on the outside of the Coliseum.
And some people were saying, I'm going to stay outside anyway, and probably hoping to hit the road before the rest of the crowd gets there.
Good point.
We have crews at Joint Base Charleston as well. Michael Higdon has been there all afternoon and keeping an eye on the sky, if you will. So, Michael, it is now 6:08. What are we hearing? Could Air Force One land soon?
we have been told that President Trump would be landing right around 6 o'clock. So obviously Air Force One has not landed at this point in time, but we are watching the sky, like you said, Carter, for any sign that Air Force One is making its way into the Charleston area. I do want to take a step behind the camera, show you exactly. We do have dozens of people, friends and family, as well as military personnel here at Joint Base Charleston that have gathered in corrals right here on the tarmac that are waiting for Air Force One and the president to land here again at Joint Base Charleston. Again, we are hoping that is going to be any moment at this point in time. About an hour ago, Senator Lindsey Graham tweeted a photo of the group that will be coming here, arriving on Air Force One with the president. Obviously, Senator Lindsey Graham, one of those, and Tim Scott was also in that photo, so we can assume that he will be on Air Force One as well, coming to the Charleston area. Again, we were told that Air Force One will be landing right around 6 o'clock this evening. It is now 6:09, and we, again, waiting patiently for Air Force One to land. And Rob Way and I, we have been here for hours. We are the only local TV station that will be able to get closer to Air Force One as the president is coming off of Air Force One, and we will bring that to you live as soon as he lands. Reporting live from Joint Base Charleston, I'm Michael Higdon, Live 5 News.
Thanks, Michael. So as you saw, not just reporters and journalists out there, but people who are just fans and want them to have a warm welcome to the Lowcountry.
Our crew's all over, and we'll have more coverage when we come back right after this. Charleston.
He has officially landed here and you see they've set up the stairs there for him to come down. Meteorologist Bill Walsh, who was in the Air Force, was telling us a minute ago that he is the only one who really comes down the main stairs there. They'll open a second.
Yeah, you see some people there back of the plane coming off. So
probably
yeah,
the press corps and the media who come out the back, he says, and then there will be another exit under this set of stairs where the crew and the rest of the folks will come off. So this main one reserved for President.
You know, you take into effect, you mentioned a little earlier, Carter, all the things that have to be in place to make a visit like this happen in the first place. One of the things, I don't know if they tried to plan it or not, but look at the backdrop there. There's a beautiful Charleston sunset in the back as the different grades of the colors of the sky come together as that plane was coming through. Very majestic looking.
It is.
It's a postcard moment for sure.
It's appropriate as the sun sets on today and this momentous event. The sun will rise tomorrow on another one, the big Democratic primary here in South Carolina. So his visit obviously timing up to be right before that, rallying his base here in South Carolina as people decide who they want to put on the ballot for the other side.
There are a lot of people who really care about this president and what he has to say. They are waiting patiently in the North Charleston Coliseum where, believe it or not, they were camped out 24 hours ago and the weather was pretty cold last night. Some of them had
Yeah, there were people who were camped out early yesterday morning on folding chairs and just decided, hey, I don't care how cold it is. I am waiting overnight. Yeah. I am going to be in that Coliseum for a front row seat. So that is certainly dedication right there.
And I believe it was Caitlin who said, or Lillian, who said there was an elderly couple who were out there with a blanket and some lawn chairs. And she said, you're going to sleep here all night? They said, yeah, they wouldn't miss it.
And people napping out there as well today. You can see the door open here on Air Force One, the seal on the side of the door there. In just a few seconds, we could see President Trump come out of Air Force One here as he starts to make his way toward his campaign rally in North Charleston at the Coliseum. Of course, that's the moment everyone there is waiting for, but he probably won't hop straight on a limousine. I imagine he'll take some time to talk to some people here, Bill. So, Bill Walsh, in your experience, I mean, will he come? Does the president usually address some folks right here?
Yeah, he'll come right down the stairs and he'll talk to the Air Force folks. He'll come. His office is actually right through that door forward, but where the president lives on the airplane is just to the left. So if you went in that door to the left, that is where the president is, and that's where they'll come out of. So.
Under the wing, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a side shot right there.
And you were mentioning too, Bill, about the Beast, the president's car. That travels with Air Force One as well, if I'm not mistaken.
It does. In fact, our C-17s help move those cars around. In fact, I was doing that for a long time when I was with the Air Force Reserve here. They'll move the cars, they'll move the helicopters, the whole PAG, it's called the Presidential Air Group, will move and do advance work, bringing the Secret Service, the magnetometers, all of that stuff. And the president will exit the airplane, go down the stairs. He'll be met by typically the governor, but the governor's, I think, at the rally already. But he'll be met by the Joint Base Commander, which was Terry Adams, Colonel Terry Adams, the 628th Wing Commander out there. He's the Air Base Commander. And he'll shake his hand, and they'll have a reception. They'll have a line of folks that will shake his hand. I'm sure Lindsay will be behind him with Tim Scott and any of the other congressional delegation.
Now, it just struck me as kind of strange. I remember before he became president, he was talking about, because that's a Boeing plane that he's on, he said a Boeing 747, he was talking about the idea of changing that vehicle.
They actually are. There are two in production. It's the actual technical term is a VC-25. That's the Air Force designation. It's actually an older 747-200 model, but they are actually getting a new one. Here comes the president right here.
And there he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Just got a glance of him here as he.
And that's his office. He's coming out. There's actually there's a desk. There's a little conference table.
Oh, sweet back there.
There's an office there. There's a bathroom just on the other side of it, and then there's his forward sleeping berth up front.
And there he is, the President of the United States, with Senator Lindsey Graham and Senator Tim Scott addressing the crowd. They're gathered at the tarmac. I do not see First Lady Melania Trump. It doesn't look like she came with him on this visit. But here he is. This is the moment we've been waiting for as the president touches down in Charleston.
Big smiles, that red tie. Red hats that he'll be seeing at the Coliseum, no doubt. Lindsey Graham behind him right there, followed by Tim Scott. They all took a picture before they got on the plane and said it was an honor to be traveling together.
That's Terry Adams there on the left side, just on, he'll shake his hands. He's saluting right now. He's the 628th Air Base Wing Commander, as well as the commander of the 437th Airlift Wing just to his left, and the 315th Airlift Wing. Commanders of the three wings that are at Charleston Air Force Base.
So, Bill, I guess just tell us about how this is a momentous moment for all of these people, regardless of where your politics are. I mean, this is huge.
Yeah, you put politics aside, especially, of course, obviously in the military, but it's a big movement. You know, when the president comes to town, when Air Force One is on the ground, it's a big deal. When Vice President Pence went to Marine Corps Air Station just a few weeks ago, you know, it's a big deal when we call them DVs in the military, distinguished visitors, show up, and again, they just think about it. That airplane was in India 2 days ago.
Amazing.
So, I mean,
they can go anywhere in the world at any time.
They can, and it's a lot of support that makes it happen.
Well, now the president is in Charleston. He's waving at the crowd here. He obviously caught the eyes of his supporters.
And thank you. I see him as he mouths and waves over there at them. He is been talking about this trip for quite some time. We talk about the irony is not lost that he is in town the day before South Carolina's Democratic primary, which is huge for South Carolina. It's the first primary in the South. And this, admittedly, takes some of the shine off of that primary.
Absolutely.
And the way the president operates, you got to believe that was done purposefully.
And anybody can vote tomorrow. You don't have to be in any certain party. So we're going to continue following our coverage of President Donald Trump's visit here to the Low Country. He is in that secured vehicle. We'll be right back.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. This is a live look at the North Charleston Coliseum, where President Trump is expected to address this crowd made up of thousands of people. We're hoping he comes out, or expecting him to come out now, any minute now.
Of course, this is just one day before the South Carolina Democratic primary. You can watch the entire speech here shortly.
That's right. We are not going anywhere. We will be here for the entirety of the president's speech. We will also be streaming it on our website, live5news.com, and we'll be right here throughout the entirety of it.
Now, we just got a few moments ago got a chance to see Air Force One land, and then pretty quickly the motorcade got to the Coliseum area. Bill
Sharp is inside of the Coliseum, Bill, and tell us what's going on right now.
Raphael, Carter, it is crazy inside the Coliseum here. I hope you can hear me. There is rock music pounding in the background, and it's got thousands of people here revved up. I mean, this place is jam-packed. They're up to the rafters everywhere I look. Thousands and thousands of Trump supporters waiting for the commander-in-chief to come out and address the crowd. He will be talking right there, just below the Keep America Great sign. In the crowd, you see a sea. Listen to that. You see a sea of red. Red Make America Great hats, red shirts, and they are ready. About an hour and a half ago, two speakers came down and they trashed the Democrats, trashed the Democratic Party, trashed Bernie, trashed Joe Biden, and the people loved it. It was red meat here at this Trump rally. Now they are ready. We've received word the president is here in the North Charleston Coliseum, but we're also receiving word he may be a tad late before he comes out, maybe fashionably late. That's the way it looks right now at the North Charleston Coliseum. These people are ready, they are revved up, and they are ready to say, we welcome President Trump. Of course, when he comes out, we'll bring that to you live right here from the North Charleston Coliseum. I'm Bill Sharp, live at the North Charleston Coliseum. I'll send it back to you in the studio, Raphael and Carter.
Well, thank you very much. It sounds like quite the party there.
They are ready, and I'm just hearing from our reporter Caitlin Stansel that they know that Tim Scott's there, Lindsey Graham is there, the governor Henry McMaster is there. People are very excited. We are going to go back to the Coliseum on the outside this time. Our Harv Jacobs was there talking to people, some of them who had waited outside to get into this event for 24 hours. Harv, what are you seeing out there? Anybody still there?
Well, Ruff, I'm seeing some very disappointed people out here. You know, they oversold the tickets on purpose, and first come, first served. They got to the point where the fire marshal cut everybody off because the place is packed. So you see all these folks, they're a lot more earlier. And here are a couple of ladies, they're kind of to talk to us. Your name?
Jan.
And
Lee.
Okay. Jan, what was your reaction when you got up here and you saw this and you said you can't get in? Excuse me.
Very, very disappointed. Very disappointed because we've been waiting for this. It's a big opportunity for us here.
Were you not able to come earlier? Or
No, I wasn't able to come earlier. Had to work, so had to get up here as fast as I could.
All right, Lee, what was your reaction?
Oh, man, I'm just excited to be right here. I mean, I would love to have got inside, but the opportunity just being here is amazing. Yes, sir.
Are you all going to go watch it on the Jumbotron over
Absolutely,
there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think hopefully there's room for you there.
As soon as I hear him come on back there on that TV, I'm headed that way.
All right, thank you, ladies.
Yes,
Thanks for talking.
you.
Have a wonderful time.
You.
Enjoy.
Yes.
All right, so those are two good sports over there. There were a couple of people who got very upset earlier. One guy yelled out he was a disabled veteran. He had some unkind words for the police officers, and they handled it very well. In fact, the police have done an awesome job controlling the crowd here and getting people inside as quickly as they could until, of course, the cutoff happened. So a lot of folks will go over to the Jumbotron right down the road over here and watch the president speak live. And we are live at the North Charleston Coliseum. Harv Jacobs, we'll send it back to you.
It makes it a little bit easier to control those crowds when they're happy and excited to be there. And some of them were even there since yesterday morning, camping out, sleeping in folding chairs just to guarantee a spot inside.
They spent the night there. And Bill was talking about the speaker trashing the Democrats. Well, on the outside, we saw a picture with Paola Tristan Neruda, and it looks like a lot of people trashed the parking lot. And we saw some workers there kind of clearing that up. Paola, what's the scene like out there now? Have they gotten all of that trash cleared up yet?
Rob, you can hear the music behind me. I'm with the overflow crowd. This is in that same parking lot where you saw all of that trash earlier, but now it's replaced by a bunch of President Trump supporters that are here watching him speak. Again, that whole Coliseum is probably filled up by now, 13,000 seats. So this is where people who didn't get a chance to go in, they're here watching it on the jumbo screen. Now I am here with Victor. So Victor, tell me how long you've been out here for.
About 7 hours.
7 hours. Did you think that you were going to get a place in, and now that you're going to have to be out here, are you okay with that? Are you okay with watching President Trump on the screen?
As long as I'm within the breathing distance of that man, I'm happy.
And what are you looking forward to most about what he might say here tonight?
Say again?
What are you looking forward to most about what he might talk about tonight?
He can talk about anything, and I'll be entertained. I just love the man to death.
And you've been out here for 7 hours. Tell me, what has it been like for you these 7 hours? Have you met any new people? What's it been like out here?
Oh, everybody's been friendly. We've been having a good time partying and everything, just talking and having reminiscing and have fun about everything.
Please welcome the President of the United States.
So, now it's time. We're going to listen in live from outside the Coliseum. I'm Paula Jacerda. Back to you guys in studio.
Thanks, Paula, and that's our cue. We are going back into the Coliseum now, as you heard the announcer as the president is coming into the arena. You see at the left side of your screen, there he is. He's coming in.
No doubt we'll take some time to wave hello, greet those supporters, make sure they get pictures of him.
Senator Lindsey Graham at the left there, and Senator Tim Scott shaking his hand as the president walks up towards the stage, satisfying this crowd of 13,000 people, some of them who've been waiting a very long time outside to get on the inside.
And there's even more folks outside watching who said they're going to stay and listen in. Look at all those cell phones. Everybody wants that money shot.
Now, if you have seen any of the president's rallies, you know he really likes to talk and work the crowd. He is at home behind a microphone talking to crowds of his supporters, and he can talk for hours at a time.
There may be a time limit, but that doesn't mean he's going to follow it. I think that's pretty clear from other press addresses he's done and other rallies he's done. And as the crowd cheers and pumps him up, he tends to talk even more. So this is an essential night for him to be addressing the people of South Carolina who are watching and who are there, because tomorrow anyone can go to their polling place if they're a registered voter and decide who they'd like to see on the Democratic ticket. That could be a strategic vote if you're a Republican.
Absolutely, and if you look at the crowd, we've seen young, we've seen old, we've seen Latino, we've seen black, we've seen white, we've seen a lot of different people in these crowds coming out to support the president.
And we were saying earlier, we were actually looking it up to be sure, it's been 3 years since he was last here in Charleston, visited Boeing. Today, flying in on a Boeing 747 for this big campaign rally in South Carolina.
All right, we're going to pause and listen to the president.